Welcome, disc golf fans. This is Derek Skull with Gatekeeper Media. I am flying solo today, but I'm bringing you the 2019 Schumaker Shootout at Schumaker Park in Salisbury, Maryland, presented by Latitude 64. And as always, our coverage is powered by Millennium Golf Discs. We do have a special treat for everybody today. We got some guest commentators, so happy listening very soon, and you're going to hear from me later in the round.
Hey there, this is Kevin Gleason, team member at Latitude 64 on the TD here at the Schumaker Shootout in Salisbury, Maryland.
And I'm Zach Melton, sponsored by Dynamic Discs, and we're happy to have you guys here for the Round 2 lead card coverage.
Yeah, we'll be starting here on hole 5, and this video will be the first 9 holes.
All right, we got this good-looking guy leading off first. Tell us about hole 5, Kev. How long is it?
It's probably not, but about 280 feet. Just a nice hyzer for you, Zach. Me being a righty, I'm throwing a flippier mid-range to try to turn over and get to the basket. You will notice, though, if you leave it a little short on your shot, it will be... Oh, no. I believe JJ's truck just got hit on that one.
Actually, that was my Kia Soul.
That was your car, Zach. I'm sorry.
That was Mike Carman with the sidearm, and he pulled it a little wide, and he took a kick into the parking lot.
So JJ's a little bit happy that it didn't hit his truck.
And then last up, we got Shane Lynch.
Yeah, Shane Lynch, former junior world champion from 2004 or 5, I believe.
And then this is Prodigy sponsored Ricky Snapp. He is a fellow lefty, throwing the hyzer that we get to throw on hole 5. It looked like he threw it pretty good.
Yeah, he should have a putt from where he's at. And if you notice behind the basket, it's a good little bit of a drop off. The basket and frame was actually for hole 5. This course is very tight. It's only on about 11.5 acres, and was put in about 2006.
Nice upshot by Mike. Kind of was obstructed.
So here's me laying up.
Good bid.
I think I told you good bid.
Yeah. I think Ricky's, about 40?
Yeah, I was going to guess 35-ish, a little outside the circle. I think he caught this last big tree here in the frame, or else it would have been parked. And it's a tough putt to run because it's a really quick green here on hole 5. First hole, you don't really want to, do anything.
Yeah, Mike's got about 22, 25 feet. Slightly downhill.
Good putt.
Dead center.
That was good to get up and down for his bogey. Mike's a really good player from, I think, the Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania area.
Yeah. I've played with Mike a handful of times.
Yeah, I have
good
also. Once I found out that he had registered for this tournament, I posted his name online and, was really excited about that, to have him come down.
Yeah, and this is my first time playing with Shane.
I've played with Shane a few times.
But I can tell he's got a really good sidearm.
And he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And you can see Ricky actually slid down, it looks like, a little bit down the hill.
Yeah, the fact he gave that run, or that putt a soft run, and he still has like a 20-footer uphill, you can kind of shows you how steep that green is, how dangerous it is.
That was a great putt. Good save by Ricky.
Ricky is a very good putter. From is it Newport News area or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, down there.
Virginia Beach.
And there you are for par.
Nope.
Birdie, that's right. You got one on me.
I did.
That's right.
Kevin's convinced I hit that holly tree and stopped. But definitely happy to start out with a birdie on hole 1.
Yeah, me being 45 feet out with a straight drop off, there's nothing on the first hole but me just to lay up. So easy 3. Next hole, hole 6, is for me just an extremely big hyzer.
It's a unique hole, I'll say that. It's the most unique one on the course. It's got a Mando and to be honest, I was so excited that my tee shot. I played with Kevin the day before we practiced, and he showed me this. You basically throw a spike hyzer for a righty, or a lefty spike hyzer sidearm right by the Mando tree, and it slices through and it puts you on the green. And it's really hard to tell unless you're on the tee pad how tight this gap is. But I was so happy that I actually hit the gap and had a look for birdie.
Yeah, and I probably missed the Mando tree for about an inch and put myself right inside the circle. When I let go of the disc, it's almost straight up and down. And
Ricky with the thumb roller.
coming around,
Pretty
real nice.
Pretty impressive shot. And then Mike is throwing his FD3, and it actually may be a glow FD3. But you will see him throw that white disc a lot. I played with him round 1, and we kind of joked. It was like, why do you even carry anything else? Just carry your putters and the FD3. Shane, kind of unfortunate upshot. Caught probably the last tree he wanted to hit.
Oh, so this is Shane for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little shy. You will know that it's hard to go for that putt where he is because the OB line is about 15, 20 feet right past the basket.
And Mike is in bounds.
Yeah,
it kind of looked like there were like he was standing on the road, but there was a curb in between.
That gravel path is in bounds. The white concrete barrier is what defines the out of bounds on most of the holes out here at Schumaker. And Ricky just a little bit high.
You'll notice this basket is a little lower than most baskets.
It is.
I'm sure it's probably just sunk in
over
since
the years.
It's been put in, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I'm like, dude, put it in the circle on this hole. I'm gonna get this thing. Let's go birdie, and whoops!
A little bit of an air ball there,
yeah,
huh, Zach?
I was too excited.
Yeah. So I come up here with little hyzer putt with my. You'll notice that when I'm putting, I use these orange gloves, and that's only because in the wintertime when your hands get cold, it's something that over the years I've gotten used to doing, and
there's putter gloves.
They're my putter gloves. So sometimes people are like, "Why do you wear those things?" And it's just taking them on and off all the time, and your hands are a little bit cold, a little bit chilly. Over the years, I've just learned to just putt with them on, and it seems to work out most of the time. So I got the birdie on this hole.
Rub it in.
Yeah. So Ricky dropping in.
Yeah, he's got a par. Mike has a par, and Shane's going to take the bogey.
Yeah. And let's see, walking over to hole 7 is a real tight shot right off the tee pad. Like most of the holes out here, you're just trying to hit your first gap.
I was about to say, this course isn't really about the distance; it's about the gaps. It's super technical, and you've got to hit your gaps.
As you can tell, I'll take this tight right side gap, and I've thrown it real well.
I thought you threw it perfect,
and I hit the last tree. I think I would have just slid right up to the basket.
I think it was going to be well inside the circle. You threw it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it just like Kevin did. Except better. And I threw, this is my proto-felon, lucid felon. And I caught one of the trees a little deep right and kind of kicked it down and got a good little slide. I'm
right
inside the circle.
To the basket.
Yeah, I don't think it really changed anything, but maybe got me a little closer.
I think you'd have just been a little bit high at the basket. Now, Ricky here takes this line on the left side.
Incredible.
That is just phenomenal. It's something that I only throw when I'm out here playing around, messing around. It's one of those, I look at this line over here and try to hit it. And he pured it.
Mike throwing FD3, and he just nicked the one tree on the right. You've got to get by when you go through that righty hyzer gap. And I'll say, I explained to some people, I said, Ricky throws all the lefty lines that I'm too scared to throw, and I just bail out and throw a sidearm.
And Shane is stuck in a picnic table. And, because the picnic table's there at the start of the round, it has to stay there. You cannot move it.
Yeah. think he was trying to get that thumber to pan a little more left and kind of be on the right side of the green. It just kind of flipped out on him a little too fast. And Mike said it's too early to do anything crazy.
And just a nice little
walked
layup.
up and put it right beside the basket. Easy par.
Here's Shane. Give it another layup. Now here's me lining up to go for it.
So he says.
And
good layup.
It's a nice layup.
Yeah, so I got a decent little kick down. I think if I hadn't hit the tree, I would have been about 30 past. So I'm about 23.
Good putt, Zach.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you'd been that far back. I think you just pinned past the basket, probably about the same distance.
Yeah.
It usually slows down around there.
I definitely was trying to keep it long and right because you can see the green slopes right to left and down, and you don't want to get left of the basket. And Ricky with maybe shot of the round. That lefty,
yeah, that was amazing.
That lefty, he threw a Prodigy M2, hit that inside gap to the left, basically throws it over the rough the whole way, and put it probably 18 feet.
To hole 8, I believe we had a little tailwind on hole 8.
Almost like a tail cross. It was
Kind of blowing.
Yeah, definitely making the disc fly a little bit more stable.
And blowing a little towards the water.
I think it was. Again, you'll notice with this course, you kind of get. Usually, you get a couple different options off the tee, and for righties, I feel like that there's a kind of like a straight to slow turnover shot on this hole.
Yeah, there's a straight to slow turnover. You also have the outside wider.
Good for
flip.
lefties and sidearms.
Yeah, there's a great lefty route if you just hit the high hyzer, and it'll fall right to the basket.
I'm throwing a Lucid EMAC, trying to hit the gap and let it kind of glide back to the right, and I pull it.
Yeah, I was worried when you hit that tree that it was going to kick you out of bounds.
Yeah.
And looks like Ricky's lining up for the same line.
I think he's throwing. Oh, I meant to ask him what he threw, but I'm pretty sure it's a fairway. Because it looked nice and controllable.
He's just got a smooth, slow run up. And there, yeah, he just
Puts
threw a little
in the
bit into the
circle.
ground. Puts,
Yep.
Yeah, inside the circle.
If I had to guess, which he'll let us know, I'm sure, but I would say like H3 V2 possibly.
And I'm throwing my Origio Warship here on the outside line for the turnover, but that tailwind just did not let it keep turning. And it just kind of went straight.
And Mike was holding his FD3 and his original Sexton Firebird, and he dropped the FD3. He told me, he's like, I decided to go with the inside gap. And then after he hit that tree, he walked back and he said, I should have thrown that FD3.
It would have turned a little center, or held a little straighter. Oh, Shane caught something right there at the end. He was going to be right inside the circle. And as you notice with this course, if you don't hit your initial gap, it's tough to even pitch up to the basket right there. You see Mike hits a tree that I didn't even know was there.
It's not a given that you'll have an up and down if you miss your line.
No.
You've got to get creative, I think is a good way to put it.
And you need a little bit more on that.
Who says I wasn't laying up?
I did not. You did.
Yeah.
When I asked you, you said
yeah.
you were going to go for it.
I was going for it.
Yeah.
I Nancied it.
And actually, that's where mine ended up going straight. And
Yeah.
I put a good little putt on it. A little more left it had been in.
Mike to try to save his par.
Just a
Almost.
little bit right. Here's Ricky for 2.
Yeah,
Taking the win.
that tree is probably 25 and he's just behind it.
Yeah.
Got a decent look.
Tree's got a nice little face looking at you.
Yeah. Kind of looks like one of those totem poles.
Yeah. So
Bang.
smooth. Dead center. Great putt, Ricky.
Like I said, Ricky's a really good putter. One of the better lefties I've played with. I really enjoy playing with Rick because he's working on his sidearm, but he's not known to play a little defense on you.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought about calling a courtesy, violation on you, but chose not to.
Yeah, but Ricky, he plays basically all backhand, and he throws some of the coolest turnovers and roller shots I've ever seen.
And Shane's little 10-footers and in are upside down. Almost.
Alrighty, folks. I told you you wouldn't hear the last of me, bringing you the putting league over here at Evolution Brewing Company, and this is a little segment we like to call the Kev and Zach Show. So it's a little head-to-head battle that they had at the putting league that they held the night before the tournament. It was really awesome to see kind of a clinic being held at the course the day prior. And then some time had gone by, players were able to kind of get some practice rounds in at the course. Then everybody migrated over to the brewery and were able to kind of participate in here. Now, a lot of folks participating they're the locals, so they've been involved in the entire season's putting league. But a lot of people did travel into town for this tournament as well. So our card itself, each player is from a different state, which is a pretty fun fact. It was really a good time to see how all the locals were able to kind of interact with a touring pro that a lot of folks are very familiar with. That being Zach, our lefty on the card. Now, obviously, we were graced with two lefties of the coverage that we're watching here that, I did take you away from, but we're trying something new here, folks. We want to give a little bit more, just more information in terms of what these local scenes have to offer, because that really is the favorite part of the sport in my eyes. Being able to really see how devoted each individual is at the local scene, and this is just evidence of that. A lot of we're going to see kind of at the end of this tier here, or station. It is a really large space that they're working with at the brewery, and large enough that we have 5 stations. So going through, it's kind of a marksman league style play, without being the technical marksman league, because I do believe, and quote or check me if I'm incorrect here, but are those sanctioned putting leagues? Leave some comments, educate. We're learning here, and you're along for the ride with me. But we have Zach here just really going at it, making constant contact here. It's good to see this head-to-head battle, and score's pretty close, right? He's kind of skipping on over now. Actually walking through here, gentleman that you may have seen, from videos we've posted is Chris Roberts. He's known for throwing grenade putts, which is pretty remarkable. He shot at this station specifically and got 5 for 5 grenade putts with old school first run JLSs, QJLSs. It's pretty remarkable. And we got Kevin here throwing that air ball, still keeping the score pretty tight. He's right on Zach's heels. So let's see what our touring pro can bring to the table on the marksman basket. We got one of our card members here down range. All right, so far so good. And so in some of the Q&A sections of the clinic, which is really cool, airball. But what's really cool about the clinics that Zach holds is they're more Q&A based. So he doesn't really have a structure in terms of a presentation. He really wants to let everyone involved just get what they're trying to get out of it, right? So here we find ourselves at the 5th station. That's right outside Circle's Edge, so you're going to be able to step this. Kevin, our local, missed his first 2. Let's see if he can make contact. So he's 0-3 right now, folks. The local, 0-3. Oh, I wanted you to make that, bud. I really did. Can you make the last one? All right. Bringing it out in style. So let's see what Zach has in store for this. Still a close race here, folks. Only a 2-point difference. All right. Kevin's got to feel good about that one, right? So I'd start sweating a little bit if I was Kevin, because he's still got a lot of room to be making them, and looks like he might. Yeah, he's got the routine really worked in, so let's see if he's got the last one.
All I'm trying to do here is pretty much go for a 3.
Yeah. This hole, it's kind of unique. You can either, the more aggressive you go for the birdie, which is a really hard birdie to get, the more danger you kind of put yourself in with the road, which is OB on the right the whole way. So you can see there's a lot of trees. There's kind of an inside gap and an outside gap to take. Rick needed that to hyzer a little quicker and try to get a skip. I'm throwing a Lucid Deputy, and I'm going for the inside gap, basically trying to throw it to the short basket, and if I have kind of a look, good. If not, and you don't want to mess with holly trees.
And I was worried you were about to hit that tree again, and it's so easy to hit a tree out here, and it kicks you right into the road. Me, I'm throwing one of the new Vandals that just is about to come out.
Pretty sure I was begging for this to hit a tree and stop going left.
It was. I'm pretty sure I parked hole 11, a little bit shy of hole 11's yellow.
And that's one of the best shots you'll see on this hole.
That was phenomenal.
I think it was a destroyer, that Shane's sidearm.
Okay.
And this is an old Wraith that Mike throws. Sidearm backhand is just super straight. And he hits the shot really well, and you couldn't tell, but he got a crazy little roll back down towards the road, and then it curled back. It probably rolled back 40 feet, but he still is in bounds and pretty easy up and down, yeah. I was lucky enough to find this little backdoor lefty hyzer shot and was able to...
And that was with your slammer?
Yes, Fusion Slammer. Ricky, you will see Ricky throw... Well, not throw. He can jump putt from a really long distance, and so he'll jump putt a lot. I mean, this is... That jump putt was moving quicker than my throw, I think.
Yeah. And here's me laying up into a tree. I really wanted to blame the group over on 17, but it was my choice to throw when I did.
It was just your fault.
It was.
Mike gives it a bid. He's a little high, and it took a little roll. He's got a tester coming back, but...
And then I gave it a little run, but more of a little bit of a layup.
I thought you were going to lay it up right into the ground and slide it in the pole, and you kind of gave it a chance.
I gave it that little hyzer fallout.
Ricky, great putt for par.
Very nice save.
Got some cars coming at him, doesn't care.
A lot of these holes, when you're putting at any of these baskets, there's a somewhat of a little drop-off or some kind of OB. This is for 2?
For 2.
Oh, and it splashes out.
I thought he hit that putt pretty good. That was my view from the side, and after seeing that video, definitely was a good putt. Tough to see that, but Shane's kind of having a rough start, and that could have been a bounce back. Mike with a really good putt.
Really nice save.
Coming back, you've got basically you don't hit basket on that putt, you're in the road.
Yeah. And if you like even with my little hyzer putt, if you fall out a little bit, it will cut roll and go into the road. I think my worst score on this hole was a triple circle 9 one time.
Wow.
OB long pad, OB short pad.
Yeah.
It was a really rough round.
I was going to leave it because I saw it was a Warden, but I decided it'd be nice. This is on camera.
Well, thank you. It seemed nice. Next hole 10. A little bit of a flip up ante for me. Probably through a 15-foot gap down the left side.
Yeah, I noticed you're the only person I've seen take the
left side.
Yeah,
and you take the little flip up.
I take kind of, I would assume, looking at the hole, kind of like the main gap, which is like straight and then a slow bend to the left, and then it kind of needs to finish back right for the basket. But there's several gaps. which Ricky, I was talking about how he doesn't really play the sidearm. It really surprised me to see him pull out the flick when he's lining it up. But he told me he wasn't a fan of the kind of slow turnover shot down the middle. Didn't like it, and he was trying to...
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 little gaps that you can go through. I think Ricky was trying to throw that big flex sidearm to skip
I
the
thought
basket.
about it, but I decided to pull out the old deputy.
And you threw it right around that right tree, and that was about perfect.
I think it ended up about 18 feet.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
I actually like that shot choice for a righty. If he had hit that more down the alley that I went, which I'm sure that's what he was intending, I think I could see that panning and then flipping back.
Yeah, we've got a local guy that throws that same shot. It just kind of pancakes and flaps
I think Mike's
right to
flicking
the
a
back.
putter.
Oh, it just didn't hold on long enough.
Didn't get the turn.
And me, I'm throwing my hard pure down the tight left gap with just a little flip up. And I flipped it a little more than I wanted to, but I'm pretty
piss off a
sure
tree.
I'm about 17 feet away.
Yeah, you definitely had to outdo me. Shane going for that backdoor hyzer.
And another, just showing you as short and tight as this course is, if you
Very
don't get
technical.
if you don't get off the tee, it is very hard.
Ricky with a jump putt from 110.
Yeah, to lay up. That was great.
It's impressive.
Shane with flattening out. That's a good shot.
Yeah. Gonna have a tap in for his bogey. Mike.
Little turn, little bit much.
I bet he wanted that a little higher.
He did.
I bet that was a run.
He was running at that.
Dang, maybe we're like 15 and 13 and a half feet.
Yeah, I'm definitely closer because yours is the orange one. And
Good putt for Mike.
That
Mike
means
is a good putter, you'll notice.
I'll have to wait for you to putt first.
Yeah. Which, the way I look at it, the judge gets the birdie first. Oh, yeah. I think I gave you a little side. I was looking for you.
And I'm always happy to, if I take a 4 on the hole before, to come back with a nice 2, just,
Oh, yeah.
fight through it, because
We're playing long to longs this round, and this is my first time here, and it is, the course lengthwise doesn't blow you away, but it's very technical, and it's not easy to get 2s out here, so.
coming up to hole 11 here, we have a double mando.
Which, until you told me, I didn't really notice that it
You
was
don't
a
see
double
it from the
mando.
long pad.
I feel like it'd have to be
Yeah, it's hard to see from
not
the
your
long pad.
greatest shot to not make it, but anyways.
For me, it's a nice big S. It's a pretty hard lefty shot. I don't know.
The left side fairway, I think, is a little tighter. That's why I choose to go with the sidearm here.
And you're trying to throw that S line that
Yeah,
I was kind of saying.
Felon. I was trying to kind of pull it over with a little bit, and I turned it a little too much, and it was kicking onto hole 18's fairway. And
I'm showing
thankfully,
out the new Vandal, which is
a really good disc.
really good disc, is one of my favorite, to show you how well it flies.
I thought you threw this really well. Just needed to be on the right side of that tree.
Right side of that tree, I'm probably parked.
And it looks like you went really left, which you did, but it went forward and left, which I think was a good thing.
I was surprised that when we get up there, you'll see that I actually had a decent line.
Ricky, he threw this green disc a couple times as team stamped, but it seems really straight.
And he's going down that opposite line. And,
Takes a nick off a tree.
he needed a little bit more
I think he wanted
ante
it,
on that one.
I think he wanted a little more turn, kind of pipe that left side, and then it filters back to the basket. Mike throws this. Perfect. Spoiler alert. Slides right up to the basket. You can't see the basket, but it's a little left of where you saw his disc
Yeah,
land.
that's great. And Shane.
I think he started to hyzer a little too quick.
Yeah.
Caught a tree.
Going down that left lane, you got to hold it out a little bit longer and let it just fade in, probably another 30, 40 feet past where he landed.
I'm going with the justice on this sidearm. And I was able to hit my line. Get the
And,
par, which is not easy when you miss your line off the tee here.
So I let go of an enforcer with an anhyzer down this pretty tight line over there, and just let it fight back and fall right to the basket. I think I'm about 10 feet away. Ricky looks to be about 50, 60.
I was thinking 60.
60?
He makes it look pretty short, though.
That's
Right
close.
under it.
Main's probably about the same. Another foot that was in.
I think I think from his viewpoint, it was like a blind
Oh.
hyzer putt. Yeah, but it was close.
Mike for 2. Oh no, he's a little high.
Yeah, he told me after this, he said, I kind of felt a little wind, but I didn't think it would really matter. And he putted his putt just like he usually does, which is kind of slower and a lot of spin and just a little high, and it kind of drops at the last second. He said it just kind of held on a little, caught the band.
Yeah, the wind's starting to pick up right now. It was a little chillier and rainy when we first started the round,
Yeah.
the first round. And I think that storm kind of pushed through, and it's starting to warm up, but the wind's coming in. I mean, we're getting gusts of 20, 25 miles. Who was that? We're going to hole 12. I think it's about 430 feet. It's a little bit more for me to throw, so I usually just try to throw it about 380 and play the 3 on this one.
It's unlike any other hole on the course because it's long and it's basically across an open field. You do have a couple trees in your face off the tee pad. You kind of got to choose a gap, but it's down this field, and then like in 400 feet it tucks into the woods. And I went with a roller with a Havoc, and you can see how the wind is just getting a hold of it. It didn't really turn. It kept the cut angle,
And
I'm trying to direct it.
And the basket's right where you just ended up, is right in that little gap. I'm throwing a Gold Line Ballista Pro. Very pop top. And like I said, all I'm doing is just putting it out there. With the way the wind's blowing right now, if I try to put a little bit more on it and it pushes into the left side of the woods, it's not worth me taking a 4.
Yeah, you don't want to go early left. Ricky is lining up his roller as well with a D6. And there was one limb I was worried about when I threw mine. And Ricky finds it.
I didn't even notice that he hit that earlier.
It shot him straight down, flipped it up, and just caused it to curl. Tough break.
He almost made it over there to 16's fairway, which, truthfully, if he pushed in there a little bit, he would have had a nice line straight down it to the basket.
Mike throwing a destroyer.
It looked like you get a little hyzer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of throw the more stable disc and flex it out a little bit and, let it fall in. It's hard to get your full power distance on this hole because of the way the 2 trees are in front of you and the couple limbs. It's hard to get the strength that you need to get there.
And Shane just
Crushes it.
torques on this disc.
Sit down. That's a good shot.
It's kind of in the mouth.
Yeah, probably.
How far would you say?
60.
I'm not sure.
Probably 60. I'm probably still 80 out.
And Ricky went with the thumb roller again, and it took the weirdest bounce and just sent it towards the road. With thumb rollers, they use them to kind of get out of trouble, and they kind of flip and curl the way you need them. And I don't know, it's just odd to see that.
But luckily it did not roll out of bounds.
And he jump putts from 200, and he's inside the circle.
And like I said, what am I, 70?
Yeah. Could have ran it if you wanted, but it was you can see the trees. It's getting really windy at this point.
And the reason I don't run that putt is because you'll see right behind it, there's that holly tree. And if you run the putt and get in there, it's a little bit hard of a comeback.
I was standing right behind Mike when he ran that putt, and he had like a 8-foot gap of trees that were like 40 feet in.
Where are you at?
I'm like 4 holes away. I don't know what hole it was, but I was parked on a red basket, and so I'm actually
Hole
having
15.
to hyzer putt around this holly tree that you speak of, and the wind was picking up, and I was like, I'm just gonna lay it up.
I think I was over there laughing at you.
Yeah.
And not laughing at you really, but laughing like, how did it get over here? It's you rolled that probably 460, and I don't know that anybody will ever get there again.
Good putt by Rick.
That was a great save. That was 3 save, wasn't it?
4 save.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
4
went
save.
backhand roller, thumb roller, jump putt, and
I'm having trouble counting today.
Yep.
Oh no.
I feel like Shane rushed this a little bit.
The wind, like you said just a second ago, the wind is picking up a little bit, and I actually missed a putt about the same distance for 2 the first round. There I am, tapping in, smiling. What was that?
I was joking. I think someone asked, is either you or Mike asked why I didn't run that. And I'm like, because I told him, I was like, if I put that hyzer putt up in the air and the wind got underneath it, it was going to just send it into the woods.
Yeah, we're coming up to hole 13. Nice little kind of a flip up hyzer for a lefty. The way the wind was blowing right now, I chose to go down the right side down the road just to play for the 3 again. Instead of trying to get that tailwind, I didn't see my Vandal or my river flipping up and turn into the basket.
The straight gap is very low ceiling, which I think makes it hard for a righty to take the gap that I'm about to take. And I throw an Explorer, and I throw it as good as I possibly could have.
That was great.
We played the day before, and I think I missed that shot like 4 times in a row. And I was like, well, what's the worst that could happen?
And I wanted this to go about another 60 feet farther before it skipped in.
I think if you had hit like in the tree line instead of just short of it, I think you would have taken a huge flare on those needles. But you kind of hit on the upslope.
Yeah.
But still should have a pretty easy par, or a look at finding your par. Ricky pulled it just a little left and
kicked him out. And this is one of those holes, if you don't get into the initial gap, it's hard to get your up and down par.
It's tricky. Shane was going for that turnover shot.
And it got a nice kick, but you can see that tailwind's just not letting anything turn over right now. Ricky gonna jump putt again?
You guessed it. I'm pretty sure he does. He does it so well.
It's right there.
If you can jump putt, I mean, that's a lot of control on a disc, more than throwing. Mike with a great putter flick.
Yeah.
I think he had to lean out and hit a little tiny gap.
So I wanted to go for this, but that limb that you could see blowing was just blowing up and down, and the downhill slope really gave me no kind of run at it.
I thought Shane was going to just jam this right into that red basket.
So that's your drive?
Yeah.
And you're actually past the basket?
Past the basket. With a Opto Explorer.
20-footer?
Yeah. I'd say 20.
Caught that last chain. Good putt.
When you get 2s on this layout, it feels really, really rewarding. So
Yeah.
you know you've thrown a good shot.
Yeah, you can get the 2s on about every hole out here, but you can get the 4s, you can get the 5s on about every hole out here also. So as you look there, you saw me mark my disc, which I don't do very often. It's because there's 3 white putters, and a couple weeks ago at Hilton Head, I actually putted from Brian Schweberger's disc, and that was the first time I ever did that, and I don't want to do that again.
All right, folks, so we're rounding out the front 9 coverage of the 2019 Schumaker Shootout. And big old thanks to Zach and Kevin for giving us our guest commentary today. It was really good to get the insight from the touring pro and the local pro that really knows the course. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to follow along what the back 9 coverage has in store for you. And let us know what you think of that new segment in our comments below. See you soon, folks.